Ladies and gentlemen of the old world, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Greenskins led by Zesty facing off against the Chaos Dwarfs, who shall be helmed by Navi, aka Navigator, and it is going to be a grudge match of sorts. I mean, Chaos Dwarfs and Greenskins really dislike each other, so yeah, always a good time. Let's break down the Chaos Dwarf army. Going to be a very troll SE build, basically using some elite infantry as an anchor. The Demon's Tongue is an absolute terror against Greenskins. So this thing, it's just constantly lowering leadership with its flamethrower and just roasting things. It has perfect vigor because of the Demon Forge. The Dreadquake Mortar can basically one-shot boar boys if they get close by. It is really, really tough to deal with. So I like it. It's a bit of a gamble, you know, because Greenskins can rampage it, attack it with big squigs, drag it down with missiles. But yeah, when it works, it really works. And we do also have a Sorcerer's Prophet, yes. So it's going to be a Sorcerer Prophet up on the Bale Taurus. This man going to be rocking Final Transmutation and Searing Doom. Very good spell kit. Anytime you're using a build, by the way, that is very dependent on having big, scary single entities, they're often going to get out of position and get surrounded, right? So having the Final Transmutation to counter-punish that is so incredibly good. Hobgoblin Seeky gets and Kadai Fireborn to hold the back objective, and that is going to be it. It looks like a Dreadquake shot actually hit home out of the gates, nailing one of the Wolf Riders here. But for Zesty, we have the classic Night Goblin Warboss. He's like a control character. Basically use the Tormentor Sword and the Fermented Fungi to drag down the big Sorcerer Prophet and the train, and then attack them and or shoot them with your missiles. Aside from that, Wolf Riders, Goblins, Orcs, mainly just chaff units. The big epicenter of the army is going to be Biggest Squiggus. And yeah, he's great. I mean, this guy has an incredible melee attack. It's very, very hard. You can go fisticuffs with the trains and actually defeat them, and also can do very well against the Sorcerer Prophet. So it looks like a Fermented Fungi is going to be implemented here as the Night Goblin Warboss moves in. Yes, he does do it. Maybe pulled the trigger a little bit early because he doesn't have Biggest Squiggus near him, but even still, I mean, he'll get in there and fight. And this is a good opportunity for the Greenskins because you can stack Fermented Fungi and Tormentor Sword and really keep somebody trapped for a long time. So big Squig coming in and doing the Atomic Somersault there. And I would imagine that this Bale Taur is going to start taking some fat damage right now. Ere We Go active as well, in spite of the bad moon. Huge anti-large buff right there, and also the Orc Shaman's going to be coming in, and big damage, as the French would say here, on the Sorcerer Prophet. He's going to be going down to about half health right now. That is some very, very clean stuff. Elsewhere on the battlefield, guys, we do see the Spears holding it down. A couple of Spears going to be lurking over here, as the big boy, the Sorcerer Prophet, does get routed and punished very, very badly, and gets broken. Oh man, if he gets chased off the battlefield right now, that is going to be an absolute disaster for the old Chaos Dwarfs. Now this is cool tech. Chaos Dwarfs calling in 2 Demon Smith Sorcerers. They have little pistol shots, but more importantly, they're there for the Reforge. So when you're going to be putting your entire strategy on one big piece of equipment, you might as well have ways to heal that, right? Wolf Riders are going to be coming in, and the Goblins have very poor mass on the Cave Squigs and the Boars. So most likely going to be pinned down here by the Hobgoblins, and that is going to allow the Bale Taur's character most likely to rally. Yeah, he's got a long way before the edge of the battlefield, so homie is going to rally here, and he is going to be all right. Back on the battlefield, we see an apocalyptic battle, just basically modern weaponry versus a giant mushroom. And the Mushroom Man, not doing bad, but you can see the Dreadquake melting these guys down. Negative 8 leadership from the Burnt Effect, also from the Flamethrower on the front. The Biggest Squiggus is putting a little bit of a DPS down here. Now, this is actually very sketchy for the Greenskins. These characters don't really have great mass, and a Final Transmutation is going to be coming in to punish them right here. That is going to be hitting the... yeah, the Sorcerer actually gets away, but the Lord is in trouble. The Night Goblin might want to just turn and fight now. I think he's slower than the Bale Taurus on his little hopping squig. That bull has got wheels, man. And yeah, he's just going to turn and go out on his shield here. This is a pretty bad situation for the Greenskins. Yeah, they're doing well in value, but there's a fair amount of healing on that big Demon's Tongue up there, and losing your Lord as Greenskins is rough, but he's also very cheap, to be fair. The Night Goblin Warboss only costs, what, like, I don't know, like probably like 1,000 gold or something, so resummoning him later on, bringing in his evil cousin, is totally a viable strategy. Now back on this side, we do see Biggest Squiggus still working on the big train, but the train is beginning reforged over and over. It's incredibly tough. I mean, it has a big HP pool. Reforges are very nice. And the Demon Smiths, these 2 little characters, do have Inferno pistols, so they can actually shoot and do okay damage against the Acid Burpa. And it looks like our little Goblin hero does go in the trash can here. He will be remembered. I mean, he had a very heroic play in the beginning, but at this point, he is in the danger zone. All right. Hobgoblins fending off the backfield. The back objective very safe here, and we do see some Kadai Fireborn trying to maybe pressure the back point. As a Goblin Big Boss is called out. Interesting. Goblin Big Boss. What is he used for? Just quick capture weight, a little bit of damage against the train also, because he is an SE. Boar Boys going to be able to get in there and fold up the Kadai Fireborn. Greenskins might be able to get some momentum here and actually press the home objective of the Chaos Dwarves. One of the big downsides of playing this way with Chaos Dwarves, of course, is that you don't have a lot of presence on the battlefield, right? The train can only be in so many places, and Biggest Squiggus sitting on 3,000 value between beating on the Sorcerer Prophet and also dragging a lot of HP off of the Demon's Tongue. Demon's Tongue at 3,000 value as well. So the Chaos Dwarfs have got to be pretty happy that that is working out. Chaos Dwarf Warriors being called in, and Hobgoblin Wolf Riders at the back did chase something off, it looks like. So we'll see if he remembers those and brings those back to the battlefield. If the Chaos Dwarfs want a chance of winning this game, they're really going to need to make sure that they hold on to Objective 1. Being triple capped by the wider army is going to be very scary. Although, to be fair, he's flipping this point. So as long as he holds 1 during the value trading saga of the game, then he's going to be all right. So Big Squig Man, the Squig Lord, aka the Goblin riding a Squig, is most likely going to be called back in. And now we do see Swamp Things in. Swamp Things are not bad against the trains. They are weak to fire, which sucks for them. But, I mean, they do bonk really hard, have really good AP, and can pin down something like Demon's Tongue. So pros and cons to that for sure. Demonsmith Sorcerer chilling right here, and he needs to make sure he gets this objective. Blazing Chads of Basharic using their hand grenades and blowing up the goblins. Going to be sending them packing off the objective. And it does look like Chaos Dwarfs will get that point. In the meantime, big fight on the backside as we do see the dreaded Demon's Tongue getting a mortar shot directly on those Orc Boys. Sorry I missed that. Oh my god. And the Flamethrower just cooking those Boar Boys as well. This is a pretty disastrous situation for the Greenskins. Considering their leaderless, these guys are going to run so quickly. And Orc Boar with Biggins are like 900 gold. They're not a cheap unit. Very, very good when the Lord's on the field, but when he's not... Oh, dude, the Rohirrim here. It's like Erkenbrand coming over the hill at Helm's Deep, although I guess Faramir, Gandalf, whatever. Depends on the movies, books. You guys get the idea. But Homie is on his way up, and now the Greenskin leadership is going to start to stabilize a little bit. Looking at value, Zesty certainly has the tools to win this. If he can rampage the Sorcerer Prophet here, get the snipe on him, or get the snipe on the Demon Train, that will really take the wins out of the sails here of the Chaos Dwarfs. And it looks like that's what he wants to do. The Big Squig is heading over here, and Biggest Squig is parking and going after the Blazing Beards of Basharic. While Swamp Things will, yeah, I mean, they will boink the Demonsmith Sorcerer. They're going to play whack-a-mole with this man as they continue circle beating him, getting some very, very good value. Rampage going to be coming right now. I mean, Zesty has to go for it. It's his only way to win. So he does get the Rampage, and Biggest Squigus is over there. Tormentor Sword is there also. And, using Spider to Bad Moon here is going to be so good on Swamp Things. Is he going to do it? Again, Spider to Bad Moon, anti-large trolls with 158 weapon strength. Good night, Sorcerer Prophet. You will be missed. Oh my god, he's being beaten into another dimension by all these anti-large trolls. And down he goes. The Sorcerer Prophet does fall to the Greenskins. They are able to Unga Bunga and get it done. Meanwhile, the Demon's Tongue train in the back continuing to roast where it can. So Homie is just kind of running down whatever Greenskin troops it can. Fireglaves being called in, an excellent choice. Fireglaves are risky in the beginning against Greenskins, but in the mid to late game, they're very good. And the battles are sporadic. You can pop them up and they counter the Boar Boys, the Trolls, and can do very well against like the Acid Burpa and things like that. Alright guys, a big Mortal Wombat is on. Currently looking at the point situation, we do see that Navigator is only getting 1 victory tick per second as the Greenskins do reclaim the ground. Bombard active there, and the Trolls are going to run pretty quickly. Being burnt, -8 leadership, Monsters Impact. Probably not long for, I mean, they're long for this Earth because they will get away, but if they manage to stay and fight, that's going to be pretty massive. So yeah, it looks like they are going to stay and fight as the Flamethrower is not hitting them. Kadai Fireborn folding up the Boar Boys. Normally, Boar Boys would be very good against them, but considering how damaged they are, the Fireborn are able to get it done. And now they're going to be coming across, and that's a lot of fire damage, ladies and gentlemen. Monsters Impact slowing down Swamp Things. They're wavering. They're for sure going to break right here. I mean, fire is fire, and Kadai Fireborn are so damn good against Greenskins. A very, very solid piece. Yep, Trolls get roasted there, having a bad time. Greenskins holding onto the cap. This has the makings of a really, really close game. Both armies are so small and haggard and limited in what they have left. Biggest Squig is sitting at 3,300 value, and Chaos Dwarves got to make sure they defend their back objective. We do see the Giga Chad Goblin character. Look at this. Little Goblin Big Boss hunting down the Demonsmith Sorcerer. And dude, we were laughing at him, but he's hunting down these Chaos Dwarf characters and getting her done. So, Greenskins need to hold this point. Certainly can't let the Chaos Dwarves get back on the board, but it is not going to be an easy fight for them. They're probably going to wait for some reinforcements to get in. So Forest Goblin Spider Riders and Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers going to be heading back this way. While the Goblin Big Boss, what is he going to be doing? Is he going to head to this objective? They could actually start to capture that point. That would be very, very good. And it looks like maybe he's going to be doing that. Yep, he moves to the point. Goblin Big Boss had 3 capture weight plus like 0.5 capture weight from these guys, but it will get there eventually. So Greenskins, considering they have a points lead, a good tactical decision, actually opt to abandon Objective 3 and just kind of play their mobility game and head over here. Fireglave's really going to be a problem for them. When these things start shooting, man, they are going to pack a punch. Probably my favorite unit of the Chaos Dwarf roster. I love them in Tabletop too. Unfortunately, they suck in Tabletop, but yeah, it is what it is. So ripping some big shots down there and getting her done against the Acid Burpa. And the Demon's Tongue is going to be cruising across, while the Kadai Fireborn are going to be trying to intercept as well. On the backside, Infernal Guard Fireglaves called out. That's like the late game Chaos Dwarf classic play, where you get that slow push of just heavy metal that's really, really tough to uproot. Now, Fireglaves are countered really hard by Chaff Infantry, Like, an Infernal Guard Fireglaive fighting a Goblin Spear unit or just a Goblin is like the worst thing in the world. It's so bad for Chaos Dwarfs. But now that it's late game and it's mainly going to be mobility pieces being called out, very good. Now, we do see Fermented Fungi, very good, putting the melee defense down very low, and the Greenskins Alpha Strike, and they do actually steal the back objective, and that's the one downside, like I said, of having like a 4,000 gold unit. It's kind of like the what the hell is that thing called? The Thunderbarge. Man, my brain was just brain fog right there. But Infernal Guard are set up to shoot, most likely going to be ripping shots here, and they are going to get some good DPS as they shoot in there. And Ere We Go activated, Spider to Bad Moon as well, but the biggest Squiggus is in trouble, sitting at 1200 HP, being attacked by Fireborn. And the Greenskins is trying to weasel out points and get to the point where they can win on a couple. As we do see Night Goblin Squig Hoppers coming in, Chaos Dwarfs getting a brutal amount of damage here. And that Alpha Strike from the Greenskins was very brave and very courageous, but with Fireglaive support, Demon's Tongue, Fireborn here as well, that is a really brutal, high-strength Chaos Dwarf position, and they are going to be able to fold those guys back. So Greenskins, how are they going to get back in this game? They have 1,000 points, and the old Greenskins sitting at what right now? Or Navigator, excuse me. Chaos Dwarfs have 710, and the Greenskins have 1,000 points. So I don't think it's enough to just win on one, as we do see the Infernal Guard Fireglaives getting run down by some of these characters, but they do have anti-large halberds, so they're going to be more than comfortable with this particular fight. Objective 3, we do see the Squig Hoppers coming over here to try and contest this, and not a bad play. I mean, that's how Zesty wins this game, is just being an objective gremlin. He's going to have to kite these units, and wherever the Death Star goes of the Chaos Dwarves, he's going to have to go and just play the other points. And I mean, look, he's got a bunch of rallying units here. This is the Greenskin experience. That's a fair amount of strength over here, and maybe could jump those Infernal Guards, the three of them. We'll have to see. All right, so Greenskin's trying to ninja this, and the Demon's Tongue is going to be on its way in. Rollin' dirty as a Tormentor Sword. Maybe it's going to be activated to try and lock that thing down right now. We'll have to see. Goblin desperately trying to get in. I would imagine that Zesty will resummon his big Squig if it does get routed. I think he needs the mass and like a big heavy hitter to break this train. Although, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it at this point. He might need capture weight as well. It's tricky. So Durkin Squig Hoppers ambushing out of the woods, going to be getting a nice rear charge in the Fireglaive, so their charge defense will not help them as the Squig Hoppers do pile in. But if those Fireglaives turn around with their halberds, they should be able to dispatch those Squig Hoppers. It'll take some time, but yeah, the anti-large bonus, I think it's not that big on Infernal Guard halberds. Yeah, I think it's like only like 5 or something, which is kind of weird. I feel like it could be a little bit more, but Hobgoblins are also a bit of a counter against the Squig Hoppers. Squig Hoppers are very designed to kill infantry, a little bit weak against things that are similar mass to them. Chaos Dwarf sitting on Objective 3, and they're also sitting on their home point, and at 856 points here, as Zesty is going to be approaching the 1200 mark here relatively soon. Little gremlins trying to do what they can, chewing through the Infernal Guard Fireglaives. Probably best to give the Fireglaives fighting orders at this point, instead of trying to run with them. Yeah, have them just turn and fight and try and drag down the Goblin as well as the Goblin Big Boss right there. On the backside, Goblin Wolf Riders called out, and they're a cheap 4 capture weight unit, right? Zesty is just going to be doing the Genghis Khan tactics, just running around with his mounted Horse Archer horde and trying to ninja the points here, because I do not believe he's going to win on just the one. Yeah, if I did my math correctly, he can't win on just 1 point. And I don't know, it might just be too much. The Chaos Dwarves are getting a nasty critical mass out on the battlefield. And yes, the Greenskins are up in value, but you have to remember there was like 8 Reforges used on this Demon's Tongue. And that thing, a lot of the value the Greenskins have is tied up in the Demon's Tongue, and that thing has been able to perpetually heal. Call in here, Morgov's Magi Marauders and Forest Goblins are going to be cruising in. Fireglaives in the back, Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and then Hobgoblins? No, more Chaos Dwarf Warrior Infantry. So this is like when they're comfortable. He's like, okay, I have my win condition. I just need to fortify my objectives and make sure I don't get ninja'd by some like haggard, Wolf Rider all in on one of the points here. Demon's Tongue chewing through. Kadai Fireborn getting her done. And we do see the Gaze of Mork activated from the Orc Shaman. Very, very good for trying to snipe the Demon's Tongue. One of the things we do see from Greenskins often is the Goblins doing that. So they bring the double Goblin Caster with the Obsidian Rods, and they just spam the Vindictive Glare on your SEs. And it actually works really well. It can definitely chew you down. But if the Chaos Dwarves get this objective, I think that seals the deal. We do see the Goblin Big Boss over here getting Karate Chop, so this man is at -6 leadership. Obviously not going to be able to fight Kadai, and this point also goes to the Chaos Dwarves. We'll fast forward a little bit, but I don't see any way Zesty can come back now. He calls in some Boar Boys. Demon's Tongue still going. Going to be running into the Boar Boys maybe. Fireglaives are set up though, just ready to counter, and maybe we finally see the train going down, but Navigator is going to be so far ahead on points now, he might be able to even go into a single cap situation. All right. Chaos Dwarfs fighting here, though. Getting their Hobgoblins. The Chaos Dwarf Warriors able to hold it down. Fireglaive's going to put a lot of hurt down to the Boar Boys, and the Legion of Asgore gets it done. So, GG, well played. Good game by both players, honestly. Zesty had a really nice initial snipe, but unfortunately he overchased and did get his characters caught. I think if Zesty doesn't overchase and lose his Shaman and his Lord, I think he wins that game. He played a very good game aside from that. And Navigator made the best out of a bad situation. Good veteran decision, punished the overextend, and managed to keep his SE alive. Just a casual 6,200 value. That's like some freaking Thunderbarge value there. Man, oh man. Fireborn did good, and yeah, the Sorcerer Prophet kind of got bullied a little bit that game, but yeah, Fire Chad's great. I love the double Demon Smith. Not that they got good value, but they did keep that engine going, which was what ended up winning him the game there. And yeah, Zesty's army is good. You know, a little bit of everything, couple rock clobbers for static formations, and yeah, War Boys ready to go as well. Probably, do you want more Boar Boys in this build? Maybe, I'm trying to think about the reinforcements. Yeah, I like the little speedy boys. I don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah, Swamp Things did fine. Squig Hopper is not a bad choice either. Yeah, overall, GG. Cool to see the Big Boss getting 1,300 value, though. I think he's a good choice, too, because if Chaos Dwarves go for an expensive artillery piece, you can just use him to chase, like, a Death Shrieker or something and really punish it. So, pretty sick game. And also, thanks to Zesty for sending in a loss. Not too many people do that. GG, guys. See you around. Take care of yourselves. And Hashut bless.